You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
Chris Merrill in for Mo Kelly, KFI AM 640. Listen anytime on demand on the iHeartRadio app. I once had he's one of the programmers I worked with. And we were talking about, good days, bad days, what happens when you go in the studio, but you've had a bad day. Guys, you've all been there, right? Where whatever's going on, whatever turmoil is going on, when you're in the studio, you have to put all that aside, right? I mean, you have to lock in. And he used to say, as soon as you crack that mic, it's showtime, baby. And I thought, that's so true. It's so true.
I mean, yeah, absolutely. Because, honestly, I leave it at the door.
That's good.
It sucks because it's like you have that whatever you're going through, and then once I get through those doors, that's gone for now.
It has to be behind.
Pause.
And I don't know about you, but I use that kind of as a coping mechanism. And my therapist says, you compartmentalize. And I said, yeah, that's how you do life. And he says, no, a lot of people will work through their emotions. Like, well, I can't do that because I got to go on the air. I can't go on the air and work through my emotions. It's showtime, baby. Showtime. I bring that up because I love talking about what's happening in the world of showbiz. I wish I were better versed. It's one of the reasons I like working with you guys because I know Mo is so well connected. And then by extension, you are as well. And Twal, I've worked with you a number of times, even when Mo was doing weekends and I had the privilege of filling in. And of course, Mark was the last man on the totem pole, and he got stuck with me on some Sunday shows. And you guys are just connected. You know what you're talking about. I love that. And so I love being able to talk about show business. I'd love to do more about the business of show business because I'm fascinated by all the other goings on, right? In fact, I've got a story coming up here in the next segment I got to share with you that we've got a major streamer that is getting rid of their ad-supported product because they have a new ad-supported product. They have too many ad-supported products to keep supporting ad-supporting products. What a mess that is. Fascinated by that. We'll get to that in a second. But one of the things that we see in, let's say, publishing, is somebody likes to come up with a benchmark, something that is massive. Time Magazine, Person of the Year, right? There's something big. Sports Illustrated, Swimsuit Edition. They want to have this big splashy thing. It doesn't necessarily define who they are, but it doesn't violate the definition of their brand either. Sports Illustrated, magazine for guys who like sports and girls. Boop. Swimsuit Edition. Right? Time Magazine. We're on top of all the most important things in time, and boom, here is the highlight of the year. People Magazine. We have all the different, we know all there is to know about the celebrities. We're big on the celebrities. We know from top to bottom. And then we create a ranking system to make the celebrities who are already full of vanity even vanitier. Vanadier. Whatever. So Stephen Colbert is doing the Late Show last night. He dives into what People Magazine has come up with as the sexiest man alive. Maybe you saw.
Without further ado, Joe, a drum roll, please. This year's People's Sexiest Man Alive is John Krasinski.
All right, yay.
John Krasinski.
All right, and then he goes on to make the same joke everybody makes. I was a little disappointed because I like Colbert, but he said, I thought this was going to be my year. Come on. That's like the...
It's like the token expression. You have to say it.
Oh my God. I know. It's like a morning show from a bad CHR station in my hometown, right? Like that is entry-level radio comedy. I thought it was my year. Oh, yeah, me too. The Jimbo and Bimbo show will be right back. Oh, Jimbo, we thought you were going to be the sexiest man alive this year. God, I hate that crap.
You actually sound like some of those crappy shows.
Oh, my God.
Such a good impersonation of it.
Listen, one thing that it drove me nuts, because I used to do morning radio on music stations. I was never in very large markets, though, but I did, talk radio is where I had a little more success. But I I did have some female co-hosts, and I liked it. I hated that it was so easy to fall into, I always called it the Jimbo and Bimbo show. I just hated that. And I always wanted to have a little bit more depth. And that's why we got crushed in the ratings, because let's face it, people just wanted that. Yeah, here's a guy saying something crazy, and then a giggle box. It reinforces his stupid humor. Yeah, I hate that crap. So bad. Anyway, Emily Blunt, what does she have to say about her husband being named the sexiest man alive? You think that's a turn on or a turn off?
John Krasinski's new title as
That's from E! News.
People Magazine's Sexiest Man Alive is not going to let him off easy at home. The 45-year-old jokes that while his wife Emily Blunt was very excited by the news, she isn't going to ease up on him. In fact, quite the opposite. The Office star tells people in the cover story, quote, I think it's going to make me do more household chores after this comes out. She'll be like, all right, that means you're going to really earn it here at home.
What does that mean? You're going to earn what?
However, the Mary Poppins Return star, who shares daughters Hazel and Violet with John, also insists on some heavy ribbing, joking that she plans to wallpaper the house with his sexy new cover. John tells the mag, quote, my children will love that. It won't be weird at all. The Quiet Place director and star says, jokes aside, there was a lot of joy in sharing the news with his wife of 14 years. As for the Jack Ryan star's initial reaction to the new title, he tells Stephen Colbert during the November 12th episode of his late night show that when he learned the news, he thought he was the butt of a joke.
Okay. All right. We get it. All right. It's all light and fluffy and all that stuff. I do like when actors who I think are genuinely nice. I love John Krasinski and I love Emily Blunt and I love that they're together. That's one of those Hollywood couples that I hope stays together forever, and I'll be devastated if they break up because I like them so much. And so it makes me happy when people like that win these accolades. Great. Do that more. Love it. Do you suppose, though, that if you come home and tell your wife, I just got named the sexiest man alive, do you think that's a turn on or do you think it's a turn off? Because then it's like, oh, you think you're something now? Is there an air of maybe he thinks he's better than me? Now other women are going to be ogling him? Or do you think it's a total sense of pride? Like, wow, I'm going to be with the sexiest man alive. I've never been so proud of my husband. And look what I'm with the sexiest man alive. Like, if I were with the sexiest woman alive, which I am, of course, my wife is, of course, I mean, I feel like I got the best trophy on my arm.
Yeah, but this is Hollywood, and I don't think Hollywood, couples look at it like that. It's almost like, if your husband or wife wins an Academy Award and is the hot thing in Hollywood, you're not, you're supportive and you're like, this is a part of it. It's winning Sexiest Woman Alive or Sexiest Man Alive. You listen to anyone who's won it and nothing changes at home. They're not like, I can't believe you won it. No. They're just like, man, like this is what you've been working for.
I don't know, man. But okay. Do you think that there's fear that he's going to start looking somewhere else thinking he can do whatever he wants? And I'll tell you what, how many times have we seen people in Hollywood who have an equal relationship as far as their career paths when they get together? And then all of a sudden one person's career takes off and then the other one is put out to pasture. I'm thinking Jim Carrey, like, oh, you know what? I could be with Jenny McCarthy. So I guess, bye-bye, honey. I'm with Jenny now.
Yeah,
right?
But that's just guys, period. I mean, I don't know.
You don't think there's any insecurity on her part?
No, I don't, because you got to think about guys who are married to individuals that people think are the most beautiful women on planet Earth. Brady was married to Giselle, and there was allegations of infidelity. And it's like, but that's Giselle. What are you doing? It's like guys are guys, and it's unfortunate that being named sexiest man alive, if that's what makes him step out, and
I'm not saying he would.
No,
I'm just thinking of insecurities on the other partner.
No, because she's also a star. She's also a star.
She is.
And she's also a mega star, So it's not like she's some scrub. She's been probably in more feature films than him by now.
Oh, yeah. She's incredible.
He needs this.
He does, just to keep up.
Just keep up. He needs this. He needs a little shine.
Otherwise, she's going to start thinking she can do better.
Yeah, like, hey, so are you ever going to be anything else?
Right. Hey, when are you going to get your career off the ground here? I know you did The Office, but that's been a while. Maybe you start doing something else there, little Jack Ryan. That's good. Okay.
A little Jack Ryan.
All right. I like that. All right. We'll talk about the ad-supported service that had too many ads to support the service of the ad-supported service. It turned very Inception very fast. That's next.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
Chris Merrill in for Mo Kelly. Listen anytime on demand on the iHeartRadio app. You're going to want to check out tonight's program when you get a chance, mostly because Tawala made an admission that nobody expected him to make on today's program. I can tell you that when we put the show together today, at no point did I expect that he would admit that he'd try cannibalism if given the opportunity. That was just weird, man. And I just wonder how long he spent thinking about that before the words came out of his mouth.
Okay, look. Let's be clear.
Yeah.
I said
Yeah.
you don't know what you're eating at any given time.
Yeah.
At any given time.
But you'd be okay with it.
And I don't believe that everything we're eating is beef. We don't know where these bodies are going. We don't know what's being buried. We don't know where these horses are going at the racetrack. We don't know where the people are going in Forest Lawn. We don't know. But we still have our behinds in the drive-thru nightly. Gotta hurry up, we gotta get a burger. I gotta run and get some Taco Bell. I gotta go and get some. You don't know what you're eating.
Silent Green is people!
Yeah. That's what you're eating.
I'm just saying, if you can tell me for a fact that you know what you're eating, I'm looking at you like you're crazy.
All of a sudden, that pink slime that the Taco Bell had a problem with a few years back, that sounds really good right now.
You remember that?
Of course I do. Yeah. Are you kidding? Do you know why I remember that? This is so funny. I remember that because we got a memo saying don't talk about it on the air.
I remember that.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
They said, listen, Taco Bell doesn't want us talking about this. News can talk about it, but Taco Bell as an advertiser, don't talk about it on the air. Yeah. And now I can't forget it.
Yeah.
Although I think I just violated that memo.
But isn't it past the statute on that?
Yeah. Statute of limitations on memo of that? Yeah. Definitely. Yeah. That's what it is. Imagine if you run a company and you acquire another company, and then all of a sudden you, in your acquisition, decide that the company you just acquired does it better than you've been doing it, and so you start doing it the way the company that you acquired does it, and then you are redundant and you don't need the company that you acquired any longer. I know, it's weird, right? It sounds like Inception. It's a dream within a dream. That's what's happening with Amazon. From the award-winning Cord Cutter News, you're going to hear the professionalism in this broadcast right here, which was found exclusively on the internet.
Welcome back to the Cord Cutters News Tech Lab. We got some breaking news that just broke this afternoon.
See? Ron, are you paying attention? That's how you write a story.
Thank you for that. No, okay. I was actually busy writing a story.
No, listen, this is just good writing.
Tech Lab. We got some breaking news that just broke.
That's how you know it's breaking news, Ronner.
Because it just broke, of course.
Bingo.
What do you get when you work your fingers to the bone, by the way?
Bony fingers.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
Amazon Freevee is shutting down. It's the free ad-supported streaming service from Amazon.
Oh, no.
You've probably heard this before because this was reported earlier this year from Adweek.
So I love that it's breaking news that you probably heard earlier this year. That is just amazing. They're shutting down Freevee. I like Freevee.
Yeah. I just watched all of Hell on Wheels on Freevee. Freevee's great.
Do you know what I think they're doing here? I think Freevee, which was an ad-supported streaming service, like Tubi, right? Isn't Tubi an ad-supported streaming service? But Freevee was all movies.
No, Freevee was a little bit of everything.
Oh, okay. All right.
It was pretty similar to Tubi, yeah.
Yeah.
Don't hate on Tubi. That's Mark's bread and butter.
Don't you dare.
Nothing wrong with Tubi. I got nothing wrong. I love Tubi's new ads, by the way. Have you heard their new ads?
No.
That are like, I don't remember the specifics, but it'll be like, Tubi is there. If you're a little old lady who had her wallet stolen from an evil mugger, Tubi's got you covered.
Are you serious?
We won't charge you anything. And if you're a mugger who just stole a little old lady's last dollar, Tubi's free for you too. Because Tubi's free for everyone. It's great. I love that.
That is some genius marketing right there.
I love it, yeah. It's fantastic.
That's pretty smart because I was like, where are they going with this? But
right.
Oh, there it is. That's good.
I'm like, well, how are you going to know if it's an old lady who just got mugged that you're going to give free? Oh, I get it. Yeah, it was good. I liked it.
Who said they had heard it was going to happen?
Okay, so Adweek heard that Freevee was going away from Amazon Prime. Why?
They said probably in the summer. They weren't too far off because come fall, Amazon made it official and is shutting down.
All right, so thank you very much to the Cord Cutter News for telling us how seasons work.
We got all the details about this, including where is this content going, how are you going to still be able to access it, and what does this mean for the future of the Amazon Freevee exclusive content.
I mean, the way he enunciates is just top-notch, too.
We'll tell you all that in a quick second.
Okay. Oh, in a quick second. That felt like a tease.
I do have a story about this over at cordcuttersnews.com if you want to read about it. I'll pull a link to it in the first pinned comment.
But wait a minute, I thought you were telling us about it.
Pull a link to it in the first pinned comment and the show notes down below. If you like what we do here, please consider hitting that subscribe button, hitting that thumbs up.
We're going to do what to the subscribe button?
Hitting that thumb.
We're hitting it?
Please consider hitting that subscribe button.
Foosh, is that how the young kids talk? Am I just like out of touch here? Is this guy just bad at words?
Well, I think he's trying to make it like a younger thing the way he's saying it because the kids are always smash that like button or that's a subscribe button, but he's trying to like be cool with it, like hitting it.
Hitting it.
Hitting that subscribe.
Hitting it. You can help us out by hitting it.
Please consider hitting that subscribe button, hitting that thumbs up.
Hitting it.
Yeah, see, the first one, I give him the first one because maybe he was just talking too fast. But he said it the same way the second time.
That's how he says hitting it.
Instinctually, yeah.
Hitting it. Hitting it.
Please consider hitting that subscribe button, hitting that thumbs up.
Hitting it.
Doing one or both lets YouTube know you enjoy what we do here, so YouTube recommends our videos to more people.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to do that.
Not hitting it?
Nah, hey, I think I hit it for putting a pin in it, is what he said. I'm going to put a pin in it, put it in his comments below. What, so here's the deal, though. Why does Amazon Prime need an ad-supported Freevee when Amazon Prime is now ad-supported and they're charging? So I think they're going to keep all of the content that Freevee had access to, but they don't need to give it away for free. They must have done some math on this. Ronner, you got Prime, or were you just stealing Freevee?
No, I got
you were
Prime.
Just watching it.
I mean, how else is Jeff Bezos going to afford his massive yachts? I have to subscribe to Prime.
Well, yeah, especially when he keeps screwing up his newspaper investment.
Yeah. How can I not support all that?
Right,
you
have
kidding
to.
me.
Yeah, look at that disaster.
No, I think we were also working our way through the Rockford Files on Freevee too. They had a lot of good stuff on there.
That's good.
Oh yeah,
my neighbor lady used to watch the Rockford. I love that. Yeah,
it's not just good on its own. It's good if you like old LA because you get to see LA in the early 70s before.
It's so cool.
Yeah, it's really good.
I love that show. James Garner had attitude. That guy pulled it off. All right, one of the things that is breaking through, and I'm going to call 2024, they were one of the biggest success stories of 2024, not the politicians, but the people who made the politicians, real-life podcasters. The world of politics has changed forever because we are forever stuck with podcasters. That's next.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
I can play the guitar like hi, it's Chris Merrill, KFI AM 640. And for Mo Kelly, listen anytime on demand and the iHeart Radio app. God, I should have been a singer. You guys hear that?
Nailed it, man.
Yeah. Foosh, I hope you had that. You're running tape on this, right?
I sure am.
Perfect. All right. Just take what I did. Just rip it, send it off, publish that. We'll make a gajillion dollars. That's platinum. It felt platinum to me.
Yeah, like a DJ, just take the lyrics out and just put a beat to it, right?
Yeah, that's
there
it.
You go.
Yeah, just sample it. You can do that.
Sure.
Just do that in the next commercial break.
All right.
Throw it together.
Sounds good.
See if you can get Mr. Worldwide to open for my next tour.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's see. It'll work. We'll roll. Oh, you know what? This election, there's a lot of debate about Trump and Harris and where they were spending their time, making their media appearances. I was reading an article in Variety, and I don't know if you guys happen to see this, but it talked about Joe Rogan and the Fifth Estate, how the podcaster and a group of cable news exiles became more powerful than traditional media. So it goes on to talk about the podcasters and how Trump really reached people because he understood the importance of Joe Rogan, whereas Kamala Harris didn't. And Kamala Harris was invited to be on Rogan's show, but instead she was on Saturday Night Live. Loser. And I think Variety misses something here. I think it's a post-mortem where you try to create a narrative using, and then you cherry pick evidence. So, in fact, what they go on to say in the article is, let me see, find the part about the SNL. Yeah, here it is. It's Harris's campaign decision to snub the Joe Rogan Experience podcast. They turned it down because she was too busy. This, according to Andrew Yang, CNN commentator, and also Andrew Yang. Instead, Trump hit Rogan's Austin, Texas studio in the final days of the campaign, racking up a massive audience. On YouTube alone, 48 million views. On a night when Harris could have fielded easy questions about some of Rogan's favorite topics, from the benefits of psychedelics to the existence of extraterrestrial life, she chose to make a surprise Saturday Night Live visit for a 90-second cameo. Yeah, but I saw that all over the socials. News was writing about that. News was writing about the Joe Rogan Experience, too. But Trump was supposed to do an hour with Joe Rogan, and Rogan gave him 3 hours. Would he have given Kamala Harris 3 hours? Now, my understanding was, as well, that Rogan said he didn't want to talk politics with Kamala Harris. He wanted to get to know her, but he didn't want to talk politics. Wait a minute. Goose, gander, goose? How's that working out? Do you get to say, I'm going to allow for one candidate to talk about their policy, but I'm going to tell the other candidate they're not allowed to? Doesn't that seem a bit bizarre? I also happen to think about something that, okay, I'm going to crucify for this. Not literally crucified, because that would be painful and I would cry. Is it time that we take a good hard look at applying some of the same rules that we have in legacy media to new media? For instance, and I know what the difference is. Look, I've been in the business long enough. I get it. I know that we are licensed by the FCC. I know that we have to play by certain broadcast rules because of the spectrum that we operate under. But I just kind of wonder, forget the FCC, maybe this is a Federal Elections Commission situation. If you've got Joe Rogan hitting 48 million people and he doesn't have to play by equal time rules, why is it that a radio station in Poughkeepsie that has an average listenership of 2,500 has to play by these equal time? I was going to call them arcane. They really aren't. They're not bad. These equal time rules. See, I'm fine with equal time. I know a lot of people don't like it because they've positioned their entire radio program as either a showcase for the left or a showcase for the right, and they don't want to offer equal time. Or a radio station's entire brand is, we are a showcase for the right or a showcase for the left, and they don't want to offer equal time. But the way it works in broadcast is that if I have Trump on this show, and Harris calls and says, hey, I heard you had Trump on, I'd like equal time, I have to offer equal time. Not necessarily on the same show, but it has to be on the same station, and it has to be in a day part with an equivalent audience size. That's the rules. But Joe Rogan can pick and choose, and he can say, I'm a podcaster. I don't have to play by those rules. And yet, doesn't that then mean that you've got a major media influencer who is tipping the scales for a political candidate of one party or the other? I'm so frustrated with the divisiveness in our country that maybe I'm looking to cast blame. I just don't know that it's beneficial that we have become such a micro-targeted genre society. Does that make sense? Where our brands are all right or all left, or we've got a podcaster who has tremendous influence and they just up and decide who they want to win. Or you've got a satellite radio company where you've got Howard Stern is going to interview Harris. but he won't have Trump on again. Well, he doesn't have to play by the same rules as everybody else because he's not governed by the FCC. I mean, he had Trump on a long time ago, but doesn't it seem bizarre to you? Maybe it's just sour grapes. Maybe it's just me feeling like there's something unfair going on, but I gotta believe it is not beneficial to the country that we have rules in place in order to ensure equal access to potential voters when it comes to broadcast licenses, but we don't ensure equal access when it comes to even more popular media figures. Because let's be honest, 48 million people ain't hearing this show tonight. There was something else going on in Capitol Hill today. Forget about politics. There was something even more important that was going on in Capitol Hill, and it's bipartisan. And they're about to really screw up society. All by letting the cat out of the bag. That is next.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
KFI AM 640, right after the Mo Kelly Show, as always, the great George Norrie and Coast to Coast. George, big day for you. Congress was right up your alley today.
They're doing their thing. We'll be talking about that for a little bit tonight, Chris. One day we'll get the answers, I hope. And for the rest of the show, artificial intelligence. Will it play havoc with our financial self? And later on, hunting for Bigfoot on Coast to Coast.
Always a great lineup. Looking forward to it. George, thank you so much, my friend. Looking forward to it. I always listen to George on my way home. Love it. Great way to wrap up my evening. So here's one of the things that I wanted to touch on this going into George's show. So the House did this hearing on UFOs today. And they had some pretty recognizable people in there. And George is going to dive deeper into it, obviously, during Coast to Coast. But they're basically saying there's a massive cover-up going on.
NASA has whole archives of data, much of which I believe will likely have information that will help inform UAP. We need only look. And again, in an era with AI and ML, we can relatively quickly and easily go through it. So I think it's something that we should encourage NASA to do.
This is a presentation from the UATP task force. This is completely absurd. It's nuts, this level of censorship, of redaction on a document. It shows the redaction of how many reports they've collected, for how many years. 2 of the 3 potential explanations are blacked out. The Pentagon...
Yeah, why do you think they're blacked out? I mean, actually, in this case, kind of blacking that stuff out allows your brain to go crazy, doesn't it? Like, they're blacking something out. They're not saying it's aliens, which means they must have blacked out that it's aliens, right? I mean, it's kind of where you go with it. All right, so back to it.
The intelligence community is treating us like children. It's time for us to know the truth about this. I think that we can handle it.
No, we cannot. Just to be very clear, no, we cannot.
Has the government?
No. We would panic. Did you guys ever see Mars Attacks?
Of course.
We would panic. That would be it.
Yeah, that would pretty much be what would happen, I think.
Yeah. Look, even maybe one of the more tame alien movies, Signs, everybody freaked out. Right? It's just total freak out time.
Has the government conducted secret UAP crash retrieval programs, yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, UAP, for those unfamiliar, I think most people know now that it's the unidentified anomalous phenomena. Yeah. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. The unidentified anomalous phenomena. Okay. All right. I get it. Thanks. Yeah. All right. You're going to let this go, aren't you? All right. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. So they want to get to the unidentified anomalous phenomena, which is like UFOs, but they wanted to expand it a little bit further, so that because now that we've got unidentified underwater phenomena and other things. Okay, so what else? She gave a big yes or no. Do you have evidence? Yes or no?
Has the government conducted secret UAP crash retrieval programs? Yes or no?
Yes.
And she's doing the old trick where it's like you have to answer the question yes or no. In other words, I'm not going to allow any context in my question. Have they done secret UAP retrieval things? Yes or no? Yes. In other words, we saw something, we didn't know what it was. We sent the military out to go get it because we didn't know what it was. All right. Have you done secret UAP retrieval projects? Yes or no? Yes. Now, how do we take that? We go, obviously, they're going after a spaceship. No. If you see something in the air and you know that it lands somewhere and you're going to go figure out what that is, that would be but you don't want to tell anybody that you're after it. That would be a secret UAP retrieval project. Kind of like if a Chinese weather balloon happens to fly over Montana and somebody shoots it down, you got to go pick it up.
Okay. Were they designed to identify and reverse engineer alien craft? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not so sure about that.
In your book, you mentioned government employees who've been injured by UAPs placed on leave and receiving government compensation for their injuries. Is that correct?
That is correct.
I feel like he's kind of giving away classified information here.
How can the government deny we have recovered craft if they're paying people because they've been injured by recovered craft?
Again, she's jumping to the conclusion that all UAPs are recovered alien spacecraft. I'm not ready to buy that yet.
Ma'am, that's a great question. That's why I think we're here again.
I really believe that we should use this hearing as a catalyst to improve and bolster our air defense capabilities and our maritime domain awareness capabilities, because obviously there are holes in it.
And now we're getting into the whole all UAPs are threats. Or could we even take the risk that they're not?
Whether it be UAP of non-HI direction or NHI direction, or, as you say, sir, China or any other adversary.
So that was the interesting part. Is that at one point during this entire conversation with these witnesses, and many of them were pretty respectable individuals, they talked about UAPs being spotted in large numbers around nuclear sites or military installations. And these witnesses, of course, said, yeah, it's happening, yeah. They said, could it be Chinese or Russian aircraft? Well, yeah, of course it could be. Meanwhile, the next person says, could it be aliens? They're like, well, yeah, it could be aliens. I mean, at this point, they're loving the spotlight is what's happening. And the politicians are loving that we're talking about it. But if it's a national security threat, that is a major concern if we've got Russia or China spying on us. Now, maybe that's just so that they can grow their own intelligence. Maybe they have nefarious plans for the future. But actually, we can comprehend that. If it is, say, something extraterrestrial or ethereal even, we can't handle that. We would go into absolute meltdown. That would be it. Just raining cats and dogs. Nope. Forget it. All over at that point. Couldn't handle it.
And not to dumb the severity of it, but that interviewer should have been the one to interview the new CEO at Red Lobster.
Oh my gosh, you're right. Good callback. Yeah. And
Yes
then he would have given her all kinds of really great buzzwords on everything. We see, hold on, where's my Red Lobster cut? I closed it here. I've got it. He's got what are you going to do for Red Lobster? He's like, we're going to energize it. Is it
relevant, compelling?
Yeah.
And exciting.
Yes or no? Will Red Lobster be relevant, compelling, and exciting? Yes or no?
Relevant, compelling, and exciting.
That's good enough. What are the aliens? Aliens are relevant, compelling, exciting. Just like tomorrow's show promises to be. Can't wait to see you then. Mark Ronner, love you, man. Tawala, couldn't have done it without you. Foosh, you keep me laughing all night. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Chris Merrill in for Mo Kelly, KFI, AM 640. We're live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
If there's news, if things shift, if they stay the same, if things change for better or worse, regardless of what's happening, you're going to hear it here. It's what we do.
KFI.
And KOST HD2.
Los Angeles, Orange County.
Live.